All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. And let's enjoy the show. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Welcome in, everybody. I want to do this as a recorded video because I have to go do some stuff uh, away from the cameras and stuff. So here we go. Let's do it. Let's do it. So I missed Monday, which was yesterday, the 24th of June. But today's the 25th. And better late than never. So here goes. I want to try to get us started out on a positive note. And once again, I'm IBringit Everyday. My name is Kelly. And I just like to start the week out on a good note. So let's do this. Let's do this. All right. So this is something that I saw the other day, and I wanted to just bring to everybody's attention. And the one thing is there's the designer, Deon Von Furstenberg. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but she was very famous for developing what she called a wrap dress. And so it kind of covered one side of the body. It came on an angle and it would cover your side, cover one side of the body. And it was a wrap and it had a little tie around the waist and it was pretty cute and everything. Never had one. But ironically, Target just got her as a designer. She's been doing it since, I want to say the 60s, maybe even a little earlier than that, designing. So the funny thing is, they interviewed her just recently on NPR, which I don't know if you guys watch National Public Radio or listen to National Public Radio, but there's some good stuff there. And just ironically, my kids hated National Public Radio, but I like it because when you're in the car, and they did podcasting before people even knew about podcasting. But the bottom line was they interview famous people and authors and scientists and things like that. But they interviewed her, and she talked about a little bit about her life. And she was just saying, quite interestingly enough, like she got married basically, had a family, and her husband wanted her to work. So she, kind of did both. She was kind of a modern woman, back in I guess the 60s and the 70s, and actually went to work. And then I guess she got divorced and then she built her business, I guess because she was sort of on her own, right? Now, so one of the quotes that I have today is from her, Deon Von Furstenberg. And this is interesting. So just a little motivation. And it says, I'm sorry, let me try this again. You are the one that possesses the keys to your being. You carry the passport to your happiness. And interestingly enough, this sort of resonated with me this weekend because I met up with some old friends from basically elementary school. That's crazy, right? And they're still around and they still hang out together, and it's kind of cool. I moved from the area, so I don't hang out, like I probably should. But it was just really interesting. And so we were just talking about like what makes people happy and things like that in your life. And really, to be happy is a choice. It really is. Because with anything in life, there's ups and downs, but it's really how you react to the downs. Like everybody's happy when things are good, right? But when things are not so good, what do you do with yourself? And so this thing is that it's inside of you to choose to be happy or not, right? Even despite the hard times. So, and then when I saw that quotation, it just sort of resonated with me because we were just talking about life and what makes you happy and things like that. And the thing that I really like picked up this weekend is that, most of the ladies are definitely family oriented, and that seems to be what keeps everybody going and keeps everybody really happy. And I think that's really cool. So, I would just, suggest to anybody, especially if you're a little bit younger and you're like, I'm in that middle part of my life right now. And so I'm sort of looking back and forward at the same time, which they say you should never look back, but you sort of have to understand life. Well, anyway, so what I'm finding is over time as I'm understanding life a little more because I've been spending a lot of time sort of observing people. And, this YouTube journey has been very interesting because all I do now is observe people even more. And, just meeting all the people online. I mean, I know you don't really know them, but it is quite interesting the things that I've learned, at least on a psychology level, just human behavior. It's been very interesting. And at some point, I'll talk about it, but I'm not going to talk about that today. So the bottom line is, you choose to be happy, and you have the keys to make yourself happy or content. Right? Okay. So now the other thing, and I had used this quote before, was there's actually a couple from. Oh, let me go to this first one from Maya Angelou. This one is interesting because I was, how you think about the difference between a friend and an acquaintance. And this is her view on that. Because, there is a difference, right? And let's see. And let's see what she says. So Maya Angelou says there's a marked difference between acquaintances and friends. Most people really don't become friends. Interesting. They become deep and serious acquaintances. But in a friendship, you get to know the spirit of another person and your values coincide. So there's some key things. So it sounds like she's saying there's a difference, obviously, between acquaintance and a friend. But the bottom line is you have a spiritual meeting, and you have, especially when you get to know the real person. So you're meeting, getting to know the spirit of that person, what's really inside. And then when you have, coinciding values, which is very interesting. So I was reflecting on meeting up with these friends, and I realized they really are friends. And we haven't been together in a long time. But when we went back and sort of talked about life, we really did agree on a lot of things, at least on an emotional and spiritual level. And I said, well, those are my friends, all of them. So there it is, right? Pretty cool. pretty cool. Now let's see. So that Maya Angelou quote is pretty serious there. Yes. And then here's another thing that we talked about. This is the third thing, and I'm going to put all these in the description. This is Misty Copeland, who's a ballerina. I forget which ballet she's with now, but she's an African American ballerina, which there are not many. All right. And she's actually very short too, which is not the normal ballerina, body type, right? So there's a lot. So that's really special when you see somebody who definitely defies the odds, right? And so she says anything is possible when you have the right people there to support you. And we also talked about that this weekend. And I went, she's right. You do need the right people around you to support you in whatever your life decisions are. So there's just a lot about life, and this is what I think I've learned about life just over the past few years, just sort of watching people on YouTube and the behavior, because it does help when you do, regardless of we're talking YouTube or life. You really cannot survive unless you have support around you, and that could be your spouse, a friend, family, all those things. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So that's what I think I learned this weekend in a nutshell. But there it is. So hopefully that resonates with you. Let me know in the comments if that makes sense to you or not. And why not? And why not? See, that's the thing. Let me know if that makes sense. Why not? Because the funny thing is, like, when you go through life, you meet a lot of people, and you only just, like, I think when you're young, you want to have a lot of friends. And then as you get older, you find out that they drop off and that you're really only close to a few people. And if you're lucky, you're close to more than just one or two people. Maybe they say maybe 1 to 2 to 3 people. But if you're lucky, you're able to be closer to more. And you're blessed if you really are. And if you sort of meet, on those moral, spiritual levels, it's really important, So that was kind of cool. And, So it's really nice. They say you can't. It's funny how, like, even though you haven't seen people for a very long time, we were able to sort of just pick up and go and just enjoy each other's company and then do some fun activities and eat a little bit and stuff like that. So it was good stuff, good stuff. So, but those are the messages that I have for you today. And I just wanted to say, like, I've been spending a lot of time thinking about life. And yeah, but I also say it's always good just to start out the week on a positive note and just give you something just a little more to think about. And the main thing is, like I said, every day is a gift. It's the present, right? Every day is a new gift, and then you get a chance to do better, over time. And if you are wise, that's what you'll do over time is you'll get better and better. And you'll make mistakes, things will happen, but the bottom line is if you can admit when you're wrong, rectify any problems that you may or may not have caused, that you may have caused, then I think it's all good. And it's definitely fun, I think, in life. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of crafting. And so you have to sort of find, those things that bring you a little bit of joy and then do them, whether it's crafting, gardening, etc. And I think a lot of the people on YouTube that do YouTube that are content creators are definitely going down that road, just finding things that bring them joy. And I think, life is short. So you really do have to, make time, for yourself, make time for, they call it self-care, but I always say, you got to eat reasonably well. And what I mean by well is nutritionally, which everybody knows. I think now these days it's a little more challenging, but it does take a little more work, to make sure you treat your body well, because you want to have your health. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, your health is everything, really. It's not everything, but it's about 95% of everything, because you can't survive if your health is no good, right? And then what's the best way to, ensure that your health is a little bit better? Well, you got to keep tabs on it. You got to eat well. You have to get a little exercise, and you have to get out of the house. I still say that, social media can be a positive thing, but I found that in a lot of ways, it's not, because people don't get out. I still say you have to get out of the house and get some fresh air, regardless. I think that's where people go wrong. They just stay behind the computer all day. And I don't think that's good for your brain. It's like brain rot. It's like television. You have to keep your mind going, and you have to do different things. And so that's kind of why I do my channel. I just sort of experiment with a lot of different things, and most of which have really brought me a lot of joys. So I've done a lot of crafting, and that eases my mind, and it also allows me to use the creative side of my brain, and try out different things, which is what I do. And then the other thing is, I do a little cooking, so I'm trying to eat a little bit better than I have been in the past. So I'm doing that. And, I like to travel a little bit. I'm not a big traveler, but I used to be a traveler. But I can honestly say that, I don't know. I lost my zest for travel, probably, a few years ago. And even before, 9/11 happened, I definitely lost the zeal for travel. But I did do a little bit, when I was a little bit younger. And I would say anybody who can, and if you have the means, do it. Even if it's just 20 miles down the road, 30 miles down the road. Because what you find is it just gives you just an appreciation of where you are. And then you can also appreciate the difference in the area where you're going, and then you get to meet, new people, try new things. And I think that's what life is all about. A lot of people get very closed, and it's easy to get closed into a corner, or into a box. Everybody wants to put everybody in a box and things like that. And, it's not healthy, in my opinion. Yeah, it's not healthy. So, and that's part of the reason why I do my channel is it gives me, an opportunity to be creative and do a lot of different things. So that's what you'll see on my channel. And that's what I do. So I sort of opened up a little bit about my life here. And then I like to say, hey, try these things out. It's pretty cool, right? So that's what I do. So, like I said, buy local, give the kick or the boost to your local economy, especially your food and your meat, things like that. Your veggies and your meat, buy them locally because they're going to be fresh. If you're able, to grow your own, go for it. By all means, do that. I'm doing a little bit of growing, and I'll talk about that later. What else? Try to get out there and do a little bit of walking if you can't run. Just move your body just a little bit. It does help. Keeps everything moving. And then, be kind and be reasonable. Be kind and be reasonable to all those people in your life. It's and you'll find some happiness and some contentment in those things. Do the best. Be the best person that you can. And I'm not ashamed to say it. A lot of people have become famous and rich, doing dirt in being a well, I'm just going to say a turd, but being negative and being a turd is not good. So, yeah, I could find a better word for that, but that's where I'm at right now. This is where I am today. But, don't be a pain. Be a reasonable person, be kind and respectful. And you'll find that your life will be a lot more peaceful and content, in my opinion. So let me know in the comments what you think. This is I Bring It Every Day. My name is Kelly, and that's it for today with the motivation. Hopefully you'll find it helpful. And let's see what we got here. So let's go for it. Have a good week, and take care. And I will see you soon. And I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. Let's do that. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you soon. And come and visit me on Wednesdays for crochet and Fridays for some cooking. All right. Let's do it. And I'm going to shout out to my DJ Drizzle Steak for giving me my theme song. He's awesome.